Hey guys, it's Heather. Welcome back. In today's video, I wanted to share with you guys my favorite brushes, and these range from anything for the face to the eyes. I just wanted to share with you guys the brushes that I have been using. All of these brushes are perfect, especially if you're new to makeup. They're really foolproof in my opinion. You don't have to be a professional makeup artist to use them or try them out. These are the ones that I use every day. They're my favorites. I go back again and again. I am not a professional makeup artist. I am just a girl who loves to do makeup, and I would highly recommend trying these ones out. Say if you've never used a foundation brush, or if you want to try highlight, if you wanted to get more into doing your eye makeup. These are the ones that I would recommend that are super user friendly. They make trying more complicated looks definitely less intimidating. So I'm gonna go through step by step the process in which I use these brushes, and I will link everything down below so that you can easily find them. And I just wanted to kind of go through my makeup routine and demonstrate exactly how I use these brushes to make things nice and easy. Just a quick disclaimer, as I had just mentioned, I am not a makeup artist. I am just your average person who likes to do makeup. And when I first started kind of getting into it, it was very intimidating. Again, I just wanted to share with you my favorites, so let's get started. And I'm just gonna color correct a little bit of the darker hyperpigmentation I have. And this is the e.l.f. color correcting stick, and this is for light skin tones. Moving on to foundation, I'm gonna be using the Makeup Forever HD. And right now I am in the shade Y325. I think it is a little bit light for me because it's the summer, but I'll make it work. Okay, so my first favorite brush to mention, this is the Morphe M439 brush. You can pick it up right at Ulta now, I believe. It's just really good at buffing the foundation into the skin, and it's easy to clean. I just think it does a really good job at blending all the foundation in and just really giving it a seamless application. And this brush is really affordable. I typically take my foundation and I just kind of buff it all over my face, just really easy. It's super foolproof. And then I blend it into like my neck and under my chin just to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines, and then I'll go over my eyes too as well and just kind of make sure everything is super blended in. If you've never used a foundation brush before, I think that this is a really, really good brush. I would definitely recommend trying one to apply your foundation. I think that you'll see a huge difference. This is a really, really good brush, and it is affordable. I'm on the Ulta website right now, and it is $14 for the brush. There's excellent reviews, almost 5 stars. So one other foundation brush that I use, I like to have a couple on hand because if I'm washing one, I like to have another one there for a backup. I do like the Y6 brush. I'm not sure that you can pick this up right at Ulta. So this one you would have to get directly from the Morphe site. The Y6 is actually cheaper than the M439. This one retails for $10. But what's nice about this one is that you can just go to Ulta and pick it up. All right, moving on. This is my next favorite. I use this one for concealer. This brush is awesome because it is so soft and it has the tapered edge, and I can just get my concealer right up in under my eyes, and I just like the way that it applies my concealer to my skin. I do sometimes use a blending sponge, and I just prefer to use this. I think it's easier, it's quicker. I'm all about fast. I want to get things done fast, and I just think that this one gets the job done a little bit faster. I discovered this brush actually on Amazon, and it came in a brush set of like 10 or 15 brushes. It's by a brand called BS Mall Cosmetics. They have a bunch of other brush sets that they offer on Amazon as well. It was just so cheap for the set. I think it was like $12 or $15. So I figured why not order it and see if it's any good. The reviews were really good. So I figured it was a shot in the dark, but out of the 10 or 15 brushes, I have 3 or 4 that I really, really enjoy. So if you're looking for an affordable brush set, I'm gonna link everything down below. It might be worth checking out if you're interested. So today I'm just gonna use the Maybelline Age Rewind and just do a little bit of concealer under my eyes. I just like to do some in the center of my forehead, down my nose, and a little bit on my chin. I'm just doing this so I can show you guys exactly how I use it. and make it really easy. So I take the brush, I just gently kind of push it in under my eyes, and I like to have it almost highlighted like up and out this way. And I just push it in and pull it up. I just think that it blends it really nice and easy. And then I do the same thing on the other side. So I just push it in and blend it up and out, just like that. And just kind of like go like that. Just kind of dabbing it just like that, up and out. And then I go into the forehead, same thing. I just kind of push it in and I just kind of focus it where it would be highlighted in the center there. And then same thing down the nose, just super gentle, just directly down and patting, and then same thing on the chin. Now this foundation is really light for me. It doesn't look as bad in person as it's coming off on the camera. I did do a self tan a little bit over a week ago. This is just the Saint Tropez, if you are wondering. It's definitely starting to fade, so you can see where it is kind of starting to fade and come off. I'll just put on a bunch of bronzer and blush and it won't even be noticeable. Moving on to powder. I have two brushes that I like to use. This is the e.l.f. small taper brush, and I like to use this to set powder directly under the eyes and over my eyelids. Sometimes I'll take it and I'll kind of get in here. So if you just take your finger and gently kind of touch over where you put down the powder, you'll notice that it's no longer tacky and that it's almost like a very smooth type of a feeling. So that's when I know that my face is set and that it's good to go. So that's just a quick little tip that I use. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, just kind of tap that powder in, make sure I get up right into where the lash line is, where those little creases tend to happen. If I'm gonna be doing eyeshadow, I'll put a primer down, or I will use my concealer as a primer, and then I will go in, which I should do really quick right now. That same concealer brush and kind of just push that into the lid. So I'm gonna go back in with my small tapered brush and I'm gonna set right over the eyes so that when I do my eyeshadow, my eyes are all set and it's good to go. With this brush, it's hard to get into those tough to reach spots like directly under the eyes. I just think that this one's a little bit more precise for that. So after I set my eyes, I move into using the bigger fluff brush, get a generous amount of powder on there, and then I just literally powder it into my head, just like this. You're done really quick. So now if I touch my skin, it is very smooth and it's not that super tacky that it was before I set my face. So powder brushes are done. Moving on, my next two favorites are these for bronzer. I love, love, love this Jumbo Fan Kabuki brush. This is by Crown, and I really like the Morphe R2 brush for bronzer as well. I use both of these pretty much every time I do bronzer, and they're both pretty affordable, so I am gonna jump in. I like to use the Fan Kabuki brush first. And today I'm just gonna be using, this is the ColourPop Private Party. So I like to start with this one because it's a little bit deeper, and I go right in with my Jumbo Kabuki fan brush and I just coat the ends and tap off a little bit of any excess that's on there. It's just so easy to use this because you literally just dust it on, and I dust it on this section right here where my cheekbone is, and I just kind of hollow it out. So just starting just like this and working it up into the hairline. You can already see how nice this blends it on. So if I just compare this side to this side where I haven't applied any product, it just gives you that kind of sculpted look. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side and just gently concentrate it right here. I just love this brush because I think it's really good for people who are new to makeup and who want to try to contour and get that more chiseled out look. But contouring and even applying makeup like this, it is intimidating. I think it's a really good tool and it's kind of foolproof, so it's really nice. I'm going to take the same powder and move on to my forehead, and I just gently do it around my hairline, and I kind of just push it back into my hairline. just like that. And then the last thing I do with this brush is I focus it around my jawline. Just a little bit, just like that. So next brush that I like to use for bronzer. I always apply 2 different bronzers on my face. I don't know why, I just like to. So today I'm gonna be using the Butter Bronzer and I'm gonna be using the R2 brush. I always use this brush second, and I just kind of take the brush and I swirl it directly into the powder like that. And I'll just basically kind of go over more loosely the area where I used the fan brush. So I'll just kind of go right over in this area and just kind of more loosely, just in circular kind of motions, just like this. I'll kind of go slow so I can show you. Just like that. I just feel like it gives it a little bit something more, just warms it up a little bit more. And then do the same thing on the other side. And I don't press down like super hard. I am just literally like fanning over it lightly. And then I do the same thing into the hairline. You want to focus the brush on the outer edge. You don't want to get it anywhere in that area. And then same thing on my chin, and then I'll kind of go like this to kind of blend my face into my neck and my chest. Okay, so my next favorite is a blush brush. This is just by EcoTools. EcoTools has a lot of really good brushes. You can find them at Target, Harmon's, I'm sure many other stores, and I just think that their brushes are really nice quality and they're super affordable and they have a lot to choose from. I would definitely recommend checking out their brushes as well. I really like their blush brush. It's tapered and it's super fluffy, and I just think it does a really nice job of kind of blending the blush in to your apples of your cheeks. I like to take my blush not only here, but I like to kind of bring it back up into my bronzer. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I use this brush to achieve that look. Today I'm gonna be using Milani's Blossom Time Rose. They have a few shades of these. They're really cute, and I think that they're nice quality for a blush. You can find them right at the drugstore and they're very affordable. So what I do is I just kind of circle my brush and then just give like a little bit of a smile, kind of like that. And I'll just kind of stamp it right here first, like where your cheek kind of sticks out. And like circle it and do like a circle motion. And then I'll drag it back into where the bronzer was applied. Just like that, and as you can see, it gives you a nice flush of color. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Just kind of swirl it in to a nice faint smile. Just kind of hit that apple right there and then blend it upwards and backwards into my bronzer. And I think that sometimes when you're applying blush, you can put on too much and it looks harsh. And this brush is really good because you can just take it and you can wipe it on like a paper towel or a regular towel and get off the excess, and then kind of go back and just blend everything in together so that there isn't any harsh lines. I think it's a really good brush and it makes applying the product foolproof. Next up, it's my favorite highlight brush. I have tried like some of the fan ones, other ones. I just go back to this one every time. This is the Real Techniques, and this is actually their setting brush. It has a nice tapered edge, and I just think that it applies highlight perfect. So today I'm gonna be using my vintage Illuminating face highlighter, and this is the Rose Quartz. I got this in a BoxyCharm last year, and I'm obsessed with this highlight. I've been using it forever. I like to just kind of tap it on there. And what I'll do, especially if you've never done highlight before, I would just kind of look at your cheekbone, look at where you put the blush down, and just focus it. You wanna focus it like right here. You don't want to get too close to your eye. You don't want to get it too close to where you put the bronzer and the blush. You want to just kind of get it right in that sweet spot right here. So what I'll do is I will just kind of tap it on there just like this. Until you get comfortable and you can just do it, I would just recommend kind of tapping it on there. And as you can see, there's like a nice little glow right there. And then just kind of gently fan it and feather it back. Just like that, and just kind of tap and then fan and feather it back. Just want to focus it just in that little area right there. Sometimes I like to take this brush and just kind of go up and over like my brow area. So you can do that too, just really, really gently. Do the same thing on the other side, just kind of pat it where you want to see the product and then just kind of gently very softly feather it back. Just like that. And I also like to do it a little bit down my nose. So I'll just take it and kind of very gently, it's just barely touching my nose. And then I like to put a little bit on my top lip, and I just do the same thing, just kind of dust the product on, just like that. Again, if you're new to highlight, if you've never tried applying it, if you want to try applying it, I would definitely start out using this Real Techniques brush. It is really, really easy to use to get a really nice, precise application. Moving on to my favorite eye brushes. I have a few to talk about, but I have some that I like better than others. For my everyday look, I tend to love this one. This is the Morphe 441. It is really easy to use. It is foolproof. You can get it at Ulta. So let's start with this one. Today I'm gonna do a simple, really easy to follow bronzy look. This is the Kylie Cosmetic Bronze Palette. I really like this palette because it's small, it's easy to travel with. I like the size of the pans. I think that the quality of the shadows are nice. They're easy to use, especially for beginners. So today I'm gonna be using this shade right here, and I'm using my M441 brush. I'll just coat the whole top of the brush with product, kind of dust it off. So what I do is I kind of gently close my lid just a little bit and stamp it right there. Just stamp it, that's all you have to do. Stamp it. And then you can kind of see where you want to lay the product down. All I do with this brush is I gently just kind of do circular motions, and I will say that if you hold it down lower, it is easier to use. You get more flexibility. So what I do is I just kind of circular motions right at the outer area of my eye. Just focus it there, circular motions. Then I go back and forth this way. Just kind of drag it into the intersection of my eye, not too much, but just back and forth, just like this. Nice and easy. As you can see, there's no harsh lines. It's nice and blended. It's just super easy to use. Pressure's really good on this brush. It just feels very comfortable. Then I go back out to the outer section of my lid, and then what I'll do is I will make almost like a V shape. So I'll take the brush just very gently, and I'll go like this and just kind of make a V. I'm trying to go as slow as I can so I can really show you guys how I do it with the brush. So just like that, just make the V, and then continue to do a circle on the outer edge, and then bring it in with the windshield wiper technique. And then circles, V, and just continue to blend. You don't have to push down hard. Just start lightly, just very faintly pushing down. And that's it. It's really simple and easy to do. And this brush is great for learning. It's great for beginners. So my next favorite brush is basically the smaller version of the M441. This is the M433. And if I'm trying to add a little bit of depth into my eye, or if I'm trying to focus a darker shadow right in the crease, not up as far, I will use this brush. I wasn't gonna do any, but we can do a little bit today just so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go in with this darker color right here and just kind of tap some product on, just like this. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So open your eye, see exactly where your eyelid ends right there, and just press the product in there, so just like this. And then you can see that that's the right spot. So then I will just very slowly, with more pressure on this one than I used on the other one, just kind of push and get it right in that area. Just like this, just back and forth. Concentrating it directly into where that fold is, and I'm just deepening it up a little bit. This one is just more precise, and it's good at doing that. I have two more brushes to talk about that I'm probably not gonna need to use today, but these are the E13 and the E27. They feel so nice to the touch. And what I like to use these for is if I am doing an eye look and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, you know what, this isn't blended, I'm getting frustrated. That is exactly what I like to use these for. I will go in with this brush, over the look that I've done, and I will just kind of blend everything in, and this just makes everything blended and very seamless and really, really nice. I think that these ones are also really, really nice. My first pick, if you had to buy two, I would definitely buy these two first, and then, you know, down the line, pick up these two. If you have the money, get all four, definitely, but if you want my first two picks, it would be these two. Before we move on, I'm just gonna put a little bit of shadow on my lid here. I just like to use my finger for that, taking the middle shade up here, which is Quartz, just getting a little bit on my finger, just massaging that into my lid. My favorite brush for applying like an inner corner highlight, just kind of stamping it right in here, which I'm not gonna put on any inner corner highlight today. I guess I could put a little bit on, why not? Just gonna go in and put a little bit of product on the tip there, and then just kind of press it in and highlight the inner corner just like that. This brush is so easy to use. It gets right in there. It's super precise. And another thing that I really like this brush for is to kind of smoke out any shadow that I would put under my lower lash line. It just does a really good job at that. I think that this is a really good brush to try that look out with. The last eyeshadow brush I'm gonna mention today is this flat liner brush. This is the Morphe M432. This just makes tight lining and applying any shadow you want on your lower lash line super easy. I'm gonna go in and take the shadow that we applied as the transition and just get a little bit of product on there and kind of show you how I use this brush to dust product on my lower lash line. So very gently, and I just press the product directly into my lower lash line, just like that. Just makes it very easy to do. It's foolproof and just gives your eye a little bit something extra. All right, I'm gonna quickly finish the rest of my makeup off camera and I will be right back. All right guys, so I am going to link everything else that I use on my face down in the description box below, just in case you are curious. And I will also link to every single brush that I use, and I'll explain again down in the description box so that it's really easy for you guys to find. So that's gonna be it for this video. I truly hope that you guys found this video helpful, and comment down below and let me know if you guys do use any of the brushes that I use, what your thoughts are. If you have any recommendations on brushes that are similar in price, definitely comment down below and let me know so that I can check them out. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.